is this? Do you see yourself in the monitor? Hello and welcome to this week's Mailbag. I'm Doug Kide. If you have a question for me, tweet it to me at Doug Kide using the hashtag MailDoug, and I will try to answer it. First question here comes from Jeff Fuller, who asks, biggest concern for second half of the season, and what gives you the most optimism for the second half of the season? As far as biggest concern, I'll just use the umbrella term, the Patriots' run defense. It hasn't really been that strong over the last couple of weeks here. It was really exploited on Sunday night against the Baltimore Ravens when Mark Ingram and Gus Edwards and Lamar Jackson were really able to run against the Patriots defense. So that certainly needs to be solidified over the second half of the season. I think the Patriots have the pieces in place. They just have to figure some things out there. As far as most optimism, just the fact that the Patriots started the season 8-1. I mean, they are the best team in the NFL. Obviously, like I said, some things were exploited against the Ravens. Some issues kind of creeped up in that game, but I don't see them being long-term concerns. Some of those issues were just the fact that they were playing a team like the Ravens, and there's no other team in the NFL like the Ravens with a quarterback as fast as Lamar Jackson. They are going up against some mobile quarterbacks coming up here with Dak Prescott and Carson Wentz and Deshaun Watson, but they just aren't quite as fast and quite as dangerous as Lamar Jackson. Second question here comes from Jonah Thorpe, who asks, who do you think will provide a bigger boost? Isaiah Wynn or N'Keal Harry? I will definitely go with Isaiah Wynn on this one, especially given the fact that the Patriots could have activated N'Keal Harry in that game against the Baltimore Ravens. He could have been active in that game, and they chose to make him inactive. So I'm actually not sure how big of a role N'Keal Harry will play moving forward. I think that he will eventually find himself in that wide receiver rotation, but just the fact that the Patriots didn't activate him in the first game that he was technically activated off of injured reserve shows in itself that it might take some time for him to get a bigger role in the Patriots offense. As far as Isaiah Wynn goes, when he's eligible to come off of injured reserve in Week 12, I expect him to start that game, Week 12, against Dallas Cowboys and provide an immediate boost there at left tackle. As far as Wynn, though, it's about staying healthy, and that's something that he has not been able to do through the first 2 weeks of the season. So for him to actually make that boost, he actually has to stay on the field and stay healthy throughout the rest of the season. Otherwise, Marshall Newhouse will be back there at left tackle. Final question here comes from Elijah Davis, who asks, what's the wide receivers depth chart right now? Because I have no idea who's number 2 between Sanu or Dorsett, or if Harry jumps in front of Jacoby Myers. Right now, I would have to say Julian Edelman, definitely number 1. Then Mohamed Sanu is number 2 because he had 10 receptions on Sunday night against the Baltimore Ravens. Philip Dorsett, certainly number 3 for right now. The fact that Jacoby Myers was active and N'Keal Harry wasn't, I'll put Myers at number 4 right now. Then I guess you'd have N'Keal Harry as number 5, Gunnar Olszewski as number 6. I do certainly think that N'Keal Harry will leapfrog Jacoby Myers at some point. He could even leapfrog Philip Dorsett, but he has to continue to show it in practice, he has to continue to acclimate, and he has to continue to get trust from Tom Brady, and he has to continue to learn the offense. So that's a lot of factors that he has to put in place before he actually can get active, leapfrog Jacoby Myers, and then even get ahead of Philip Dorsett. But N'Keal Harry is really the only prototypical X-receiver in the Patriots wide receiver core, so I do actually think that he has a chance to get a starting role before the end of the season.